Wow. Hello, hello, everybody. Can anybody hear me? Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? All right. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I just got, oh, that was so funny. So, hello, everybody. Are you hearing me? Hi, how are you? Are you hearing me? Okay, good, guys. Wow, this is my second. So, this is what you call start before you're ready. I always say start before you're ready. So, welcome, everybody. I'm so sorry I had a little bit of hiccup there. I was trying to figure out things, but I'm so happy to have everybody here. And for those of you guys who don't know me, and you're coming into my stream for the first time, I am Yvonne Robinson Jackson, your career transformation coach, and I am the owner of Goal Inspired Career Coaching.com and the Career Advancement Club on Facebook. Okay, and I'm highly active on LinkedIn. So if you are on LinkedIn, you can follow my hashtag Goal Inspired Career Coaching. Goal Inspired Career Coaching. So what we do on this channel, we talk about career strategies and how to stand out and be confident so that you can advance in your career. Because I know a lot of you are on LinkedIn looking for work every day. And one of the big things is how to write a resume so that you can stand out, right? So today we're going to talk about all of that, how to write your best resume to get noticed. So I see quite a number of people. I see MD. Hi, MD. I see William. So I am streaming from Facebook. I am also streaming from LinkedIn, and I am streaming from YouTube. So I would like to know where you're coming in from. I'm from Canada. I see William here. Hi, William. How are you? So let me know where you're coming in from. If you're coming in from the Caribbean, if you're coming from the United States, or if you are coming in from Canada or anywhere else in the world, just let me know, guys, so I can know my people in my community. So happy to be here. Somebody said, as you know, guys, I am running solo today. So if somebody says here, this is a really important topic and it is so helpful. And she wants to hear from me. I'm glad to hear that because honestly, today I'm really, really going to talk about this resume. And I have Marcia from Portland, Oregon. Hi, Marcia. Nice to see you. Nice to talk to you today. Guys, I'm so excited. I started this just a week ago, trying to use all these equipment. And I post on LinkedIn all the time that you should start before you're ready. Because if you don't start to do something, you will never have anything to perfect. And by the end of it, guys, I'm going to be so good at this streaming thing. So as I was saying, I am your career advancement coach. I'm not a resume writer. I've written a lot of resumes. And for those who don't know me a lot, I've spent years in the staffing industry, right? From a senior technical recruiter to strategic recruitment executive and senior director of recruiting at a company in Canada called Mindwire. So I've had 15 years doing this. I've seen a lot of resumes. I've written a lot of resumes. This is a recruiting firm. So we dealt with a lot of organizations, a lot of government organizations, and I've worked with thousands and thousands of high achieving professionals who are actually, a lot of them are on LinkedIn. They work with the federal government. So I would like to help you. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time messing around here. I just want to get into it, right? But I know some of you are discouraged. If you are discouraged, if you have been looking for a job for a long time, I just want you to just drop a comment. I just want to put a comment in there. How long have you been looking for a job? Have you been looking for a month, 3 months, 2 months, 4 months? Let me know. How long have you been looking, guys? How long have you been looking for a job? Oh, Renee says that she's from Canada and she's excited to tune in. Dr. Renee, thank you for coming in, Dr. Renee. I'm so happy for you to be here. I'm so happy to see you. Segar is here. Hi, Segar. How are you? Nice to see you, Segar. Nice to see you. Okay. Thank you, guys. Is anybody on the stream right now looking for a job, looking for work? Or anybody here looking for work? Not necessarily. Is there anybody here who has had issues or have problems writing your resume? Post a comment there. Let me know. Let me know before I just get into this right now. Because when I'm done here, guys, you know what I would like to do? I'd like to know that when you're on LinkedIn, you're not looking for a resume writer or looking for resume tips, but you're looking for somebody to help you to advance in your career. William is looking for work. Thank you, William. It's very good to know. That means that you're looking for your resume. Yamini says she's looking for yes to are you looking, Yamini, or would you like to know that when you're on LinkedIn, you're only looking for somebody to help you advance? Because resume writing shouldn't be stopping people back, you know. And I would like to know that the next time you go on LinkedIn. So today, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the secret sauce. I'm going to give you the secret sauce. So before Marcia, thank you, Marcia. Okay, you hired a professional recruiter to write your resume with the correct algorithms. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And if you stay to the end, guys, I have a resume framework, and I'm going to tell you where to go and grab that, and that will set you on your right footing. Okay, so what I'm also going to do in this live, I'm going to share my screen at points in the live so that it's almost like a webinar. Okay, it's because I want you to have all the information. Okay, so maybe what I'm going to do now is I am going to share my screen and show you what I have for you here. Okay, all right, so there we go. Share my screen. Good. So this is how to write your resume. So I'm just going to go right down. So what we're going to discuss today, I want to tell you, is how to write your resume to get hired. Your resume goal, the focus, the different types of resume length, and resume structure, right? So before you write your resume, you should know the goal of that resume. because I just want to share with you, I met a young lady last week and she was writing her resume and she did not know what kind of job she wanted. So before you actually attempt to write your resume, the first thing you have to know the type of job that you are looking for. So you have to have that focus, right? You have to know the goal of the resume and know what you're using the resume to do. The first resume I am going to tell you that you have to write is that prospecting resume. Because when you are looking for work, and you're on LinkedIn or you're meeting somebody for the first time, you have to send them a resume. That is a prospecting resume because that resume is not targeted to any job at all. So you have to write that prospecting resume. You have, and we're going to towards the middle of this presentation, show you how to write that resume. You don't have to be stressed about the resume because the resume that you write, which is your prospecting resume, you can change that up to fit the different roles. And we are going to talk about how to do that, right? And when you're writing your resume too, you have to write the resume in the style that is most suited for you. Because here's the good news. There is no perfect way to write a resume. So don't let anybody tell you there's a perfect way. There's no perfect way. The structure depends on your background, your experience, the job that you are applying for, or where you are sending your resume, right? We're also going to talk about the resume length and the resume structure. So really, there are three types of resumes that I want to tell you about. And the three types of resume are, you have the chronological resume, you have the functional resume, and you have a combination resume. A chronological resume is one that we normally use. We use that one often because we use that one because it shows it's a common type because it shows a list of your work experience in reverse chronological order. That is the regular one. A functional resume is the one that focuses more on your skills and abilities rather than your work history. For example, if you're a CEO or if you're an executive, you're going to write a functional resume. A combination resume is the one where the resume lists your skills and qualification before your employment history. And a lot of people coming out of school usually write this one. And the reason, anytime I see a resume with the skills and qualifications before the employment history, I say, okay, this is a junior. So if you are not a junior person, you should not be writing your resume with the education at the top. Because you look at the resume, what we want to see is what you can do for the company. All right. So a few little housekeeping things about the resume before I go into the detail is that your resume should be clean and uncluttered. It should not have any fancy icons and fancy lines and fancy boxes. And there are lots of reasons for that, which I did not really want to go into today, but what I'm going to give you at the end has all that information about ATS resume and all that. So you're going to be happy for that because that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about the ATS resume, but the resume that I am going to show you to write is going to be ATS friendly also. Okay. All right. The resume that you are creating should be clean and uncluttered. No boxes. And just one little quick tip, when you're sending your resume to a recruiter, the best resume to send is a Word document because the recruiters have to change things with your knowledge, and they also have to put your logo and everything on there. So send a Word document, don't send. So I'm just going to flip back a little bit. And the other things about the resume, it's you have to make a job description ready. If it is one that you're applying for a job, that's the one you're going to have to tailor to the job, right? So, and you also have to develop and use results-driven achievement statements which I am going to show you to do. So I'm just going to flip back 1 minute here. As I tell you, I'm stopping my screen. I'm going back in here. And I just want you to let me, Michael, hi, Michael. Michael said he's late, but he made it. Robert is here. Angelique is here. Thanks, guys. So thank you for being here. So I just wanted to talk to you about that, to let you know that, as I said a while ago, there's no one perfect way to write your resume. It depends on where you're sending your resume, and it depends on the purpose of the resume. So don't get alarmed and say, oh, do I need 10 resumes? Do I need 15 resumes? No, you don't need 15 resumes. So generally speaking, what I did when I was a career professional, well, I'm still a career professional, but what I did, guys, I used to have what I call a master resume. And this master resume is my resume database. So every job that I have it on my master resume, right? So you got to have that master resume, guys, because every job that you do is on the master resume, but you're not going to send the master resume out. It's your resume database. When you are prospecting, like you're on LinkedIn hunting, you need to have a prospecting resume. Okay, so we're talking about prospecting resume, and after that, I'm going to show you what you have to do to customize a resume. All right, so let me know how it's going, guys. How is it going so far? Did you know that you probably just need to have about 2 resumes? Yes, Renee has a master resume. Awesome. Robert Berry says, Robert and Michael are having a nice little conversation about watch. Maybe they're going to send me a Movado watch. Okay. So, so Robert said something about something was a good tip before. So I gave you a couple nuggets here. It would be nice to know which one, but it is very, very, very important, guys, that you have your resume database. You just dump everything in there, all the jobs that you have. And now we're going to talk about how to write this resume. So I'm going to focus on the chronological resume, okay? And before I even get there, let me talk about resume length before I even get to the resume, because you want to know. Angelique has a master resume. Wonderful, Angelique. So let me talk about the resume length. I understand that for most people, and I've talked to a lot of persons, like in the United States and in the States, and I've been studying this for a while. It seems as if they like 2-page resumes. Some people are saying 1 page, but guys, if you are very senior, don't squish your resume on 1 page, because you cannot say enough, right? On 2 pages, perhaps if you're in the States, but I'm just going to tell you a little something. When I worked with the recruiting firm, most people here know I just retired, right, from that firm. And we were sending resumes out, like to our federal government. All our consultants have 10 and 15 and 20-page resumes. And don't look surprised, because we had to match their resume up to what we call a matrix. And if all the information is not in the resume, we could not put them forward, right? Also, if you are sending your resume to the Bank of Canada, I can tell you this because it's public knowledge. They allow you to send 5 pages. 5 pages, they tell you in the RFPs and in the requirements that we get. If you're sending your resume to Export Development Canada, you can send 10 pages. They tell you it's 10. So when people tell you only 1 page, only 2 pages, only 3 pages, I see it on LinkedIn all the time, and I see it on YouTube, I am going crazy, because I'm saying, where are these people? Okay, maybe you have to know your destination. So when you are looking for, work, you have to figure out and you have to find out. If you send a 1-page resume for a requirement for a senior project manager to the federal government right now, you're not getting it in Canada. If you're in Canada, you're not getting it because you have not said enough, because they want you to demonstrate what you have done on which project and what were the results. And we're going to get there when we start talking about the accomplishments. Okay. So that's it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to also share my screen again because I want to show you the different sections of the resume. So the resume must have a structure. And I just want to right now share that resume structure with you. So I'm going to do my thing again to share again and share my structure, share screen. Go back to the Chrome tab, guys. I'm talking this through with you because guess what? I'm running solo. Okay. Okay. So first of all, let us look at the structure of the resume. You got to have that contact information. Okay. So you have your contact information. And why am I stressing it? I've seen resume, the people forget to put their phone number or to put information that we need. So in the area of the contact information, just ensure that you don't put your home address. Nobody does that anymore because in these scary days, you don't want to put your home address in there. Okay. And so the next part is what we call the career summary. Now, career summary is very important because in the days when they used to have snail mail, we used to write a resume and we send the resume along with a letter called the cover letter. Nowadays, cover letters are not so important anymore. Unless they ask you for a cover letter, don't waste your time. Okay. So what you need to do is to write your career summary. I'm going to stop that one screen and I'm going to show you another screen because I'm going to share a career summary with you. Okay. So let me share here. Look at this. Okay, so let's just go through this one. It's probably easier. So at the top, you're going to make sure, as I said, you have your name, okay, your city, your phone number, your email, your LinkedIn address, so they can click on it and go straight to LinkedIn and look at you. And we're going to talk a little bit about, last week I talked about LinkedIn profile, which is very important, your LinkedIn profile, because they are watching, okay? So say you were a social media expert. And as I was going to say too, if you would like to put this part in the to get valuable space, to make space for valuable real estate on your resume, you can put this in the header if you want, right? Okay, social media expert. When you're writing your profile summary, which is the crowning glory of your resume, I call it the crowning glory because this is when you can be yourself, tell a little something, a quick, it is like your elevator pitch, right? It is similar to what they're talking about, what is hot now about resume. LinkedIn is going to have video stories. So this is what your video story would look like. So that would normally be your career summary or your profile summary. And the profile summary should be very descriptive. You can start with a describing word. You can say it in two ways. I like to say it in two ways. You're either going to go something like this: realistic, energetic, resourceful social media expert with over 5 years experience creating, managing social media strategies and campaigns for companies in the financial sector. So what you're actually doing, you're saying who you are, what you do, and for whom. You're telling them a little bit about your experience, but not all of it. Something that you have done. I wrote this one: build successful social media strategies that increase brand awareness, promote customer engagement that uniquely drives web traffic conversions. And then you can tell them a little bit about your degree. With a degree in psychology and strong business acumen, use customer-centric approaches and so on. You can take the same. So what you're doing, you're starting by saying, you're realistic, you're energetic. I would put that I'm energetic because I'm energetic. I'm energetic. Everybody knows that. Or you can start by saying, Yvonne Robinson, and you write your resume in the third person. I didn't know that until I was a recruiter, okay? Yvonne Robinson is a senior project manager with X number of years in the information technology industry. And that is why I say when you're writing your resume, you have to know who you are. Don't go and say things like, well, I talked to a young lady the other day and she was coming out of school and she was looking on LinkedIn. She's just leaving school, risk manager. So when I spoke with her, I said, you're not a risk manager. Risk manager, you need years of experience to be a risk manager. So going on LinkedIn and putting at the top that you're a risk manager, nobody's going to call you, right? Because your LinkedIn has to be realistic, right? So you could say, Yvonne Robinson is project manager with so many years of experience. You give a couple paragraphs containing detailed information, right? And then you write 2 or 3 sentences in a paragraph that summarize your goals. And you can put a paragraph summarizing your leadership skills. So simply, you say who you are, what you do, and for whom, right? And give some details. Put a paragraph containing information relating to the specific job description. You can do that, right? If you know they are looking for somebody specific to do a specific thing, which is in your zone of genius. Okay. So let me know, guys, if you are having any problems in writing. I'm going back here. Let me know if you're having any problems in writing your profile summary. Yes, write it in the third person. Your resume should be written in the third person. All right. Your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn profile is written in the first person. Your resume is written in the third person. And especially if you're sending it to a recruiting firm, they are like a broker. So they're sending the resume on behalf of you. Okay. So they're saying, Mr. Dillard, Mr. Michael Dillard is a senior project manager with 50 years, 20, 30, 15, right, Michael? 15 years of experience in the information technology industry. Then you're going to put some of the things that you have done for who and for what. Put some of your soft skills. You might round it up to say what your education is. And then you would, tell them, you could even tell them in the profile summary why you want that job. So that's it. So the profile summary is your crowning glory. Your profile summary is very important. It summarizes. All right. Thank you, Robert. 100%. Thank you. I just got 100%. Yay. I got 100. Ooh, I love that. Robert, when I was going to school, I always get 100. Okay. So I expect to get 100 here, even though I started a little bit shaky with the technology, but technology is not my thing. I'm learning so many new technologies, guys. All right, guys. All right. We're going to talk about the other part, but put in the comments here. Anybody here starting anything before they're ready? I have been starting a lot of stuff before I'm ready. I'm like, I'm just trying this and I'm trying that, Yeah, guys. Anybody here starting before they're ready? Michael, are you starting before you're ready? Ray Robert, are you starting anything before you're ready, dear my friend? Wow. I'm telling you guys, this is something. I've been starting a lot of new things and I'm going to tell you how new these are. So awesome. So that's great. So you know how to write your profile summary. So we covered the heading, right? And then we covered the profile summary. Okay, awesome. So we are going to talk about, so let me go back to the other areas of the resume. And I kind of like to share it while I kind of like to share it while, we go through it so you can have a visual on the screen. Because if I say everything, you're going to forget, right? And I used to be a teacher, and the way you learn, you listen, you say, you see, you listen, you learn with all your senses. So I want to show you more than just keep talking, because all I can do is click on the screen and see what guys are saying, but I got to show you some stuff here. Okay. So I'm going to show you my screen again. So one more share screen. Okay, guys, share screen from tab. I'm going back to the resume format. Okay. So I'll share that with you. All right. And somebody said that they bought a lot of podcast things. That's awesome because I'm also going to buy a stream deck. So I think I'm going to be better the next time because I'm going to get my stream deck. Okay. So the next section is selected professional experience. And why selected? Well, the reason why it is selected is because, all right, let me go back a little bit. Remember at the beginning, I said you should have your master resume. That's your work history. So when you're doing this part it would be your work history. But now you're going to, this is what we're writing now, could be your prospecting resume, or it could be the targeted resume. And I'm going to tell you about targeted too. So this one is not going to have everything. No, not going to have all your work history. Listen, when I was looking for a job at MindWire, when I was looking for a job 15 years ago, before I got that job at MindWire, I did not know what job to look for because my background was so varied. Because in the past, I was an accountant. I was a university lecturer. I was a marketing manager. Okay. And then I went to Algonquin when I came here and I did IT and I was an IT specialist. So all these different things. I'm like many of you out there. You have such a varied background. You don't even, and you're in between jobs. You don't even know which job to look for. I was there. Okay. So at that time, I had a master resume with everything. I applied for accounting jobs, different resume. I applied for IT, different resume. And the reason why I had to change it up is because when I'm applying for the IT, I don't need the accounting, but I needed the accounting database because I have to remember what I did. And I also had to remember my reference, who was my senior person in the Cayman Islands Treasury. I had to remember her name because after years, you forget some of those things. So that is the reason why you might have a job now and say, well, Yvonne, I don't need that. Trust me. You do not know what the future brings. So you can't just say, I don't need it, right? Because it happened to me and it happened to a lot of people, it can happen to anybody. So the selected professional experience, we are going to list it in chronological order. The name, the client, I usually put the client name. You don't have to. Most of the IT professionals who I work with, because they do a project-based resume, they normally, and I know how to do a project-based resume. Like if you are in a, like say if you work in Bell Canada and you do several projects, all those projects would come under Bell Canada. So that would be a project-based resume. So say I worked at EDS or one of those companies or HP, right? I would have my client name. I would have my, I would probably call it client one, company name, city, province, state, or here we don't have city, province, or state. In Canada, we have province. In the US, we have states. You put the month. So some people say, do not put the start month and the end month. Don't put month and year. Let me tell you something, guys. When we get a client asking us for somebody with 5 years and 6 years of experience, if you put this, if you put 2020 to 2021, that's only 1 month. If I put January 2020 to January 2021, that's 1 year and 1 month. I don't have a crystal ball to look to figure out whether you stayed at the company for 1 year or you stayed 1 month. The month and the year is very important. I know a lot of people are saying it ages you. People will know that you had short contract. They're going to know anyway, right? So I'm telling you, it's harder for the recruiter or the person who is analyzing your resume to know whether you really have the years of experience if you leave off the year, right? Okay, so you put the position. That's why you have to know who you are, right? What you do. Company or client description. Okay. You might not want to do this, but it's very important because if you worked in Jamaica at a little nondescript company, nobody knows about it, but you did good work, and you put the client and the company name there, nobody is going to know. If it is not Cable and Wireless, or if it is not the government of Jamaica, or if it is not the government of Africa, or if it is not the Treasury Department of the government of US, nobody knows. Nobody in Canada knows. Or maybe if you move to a state, nobody has ever heard about that company. Nobody wants to do the brain work. So you can put a little blurb about the company and the client description, a very short one. And then down here, people say you shouldn't put task. Doesn't matter. As I say, it's not that difficult. It's not that crazy, guys. We are only concerned with what you put in here, right? So task, performance, significant accomplishments. I like that because you have to say what you do, which is kind of a task, and for whom and the results. Just ensure that this part is accomplishments driven. Now, not everything can be quantifiable, but if you can figure out percentages, or you develop an accounts receivable application that reduced cost by so much percent. So you can use percentages, you can use numbers. If you were supervising people and you feel that you increased customer satisfaction or you decrease costs, those are the words that you would put as measurable. And I made a mistake there, measurable. So remember, it is not so hard. If you think of numbers, if you think of percentages, if you think of things going up and down, increasing and decreasing things, it is not that difficult. And the other thing that you must find out about your resume, use action words. Designed, developed, created, right? And if you go on my website, which I'm going to tell you about later on, I have a whole ton of action words that you can put in your resume to trigger your memory of what you have done, right? So you start the sentence with action word. If you're applying to a specific position, put keywords. This is how you put keywords in your resume. You don't go and put a bunch of keywords in your resume at one spot and think anybody's going to hire you. To put keywords in your resume to make it ATS friendly without any context. So when you write your resume, both when you write your profile summary and when you are writing your different projects, in this section, this is where you put the keywords. And okay, Yvonne, I don't have a job description. So what do I do? Okay, this is what I tell everybody. You know you're looking for a project manager for something specific or a specific title. You know what you do. You go on Indeed. You go on Monster. You look for jobs. You go on LinkedIn. You look for the jobs. And look how the people write the job description. And you can use that to build your resume. You're not applying for the job, but you know you have done similar work. But you don't have the vocabulary. You have to think like the manager and the hiring manager and the recruiter. You got to start writing your resume and thinking like the hiring manager. So when you're writing a resume, you take those statements and you rework them. We call it wordsmith them into your resume, and you will have a nice prospecting resume, guys. So you go and you look for what these people do. You say, oh, I did it, but I didn't say it like that. Ah, I can say it like that. Don't copy and paste. You're intelligent, right? We're dealing with ambitious professionals here. You wordsmith it into your resume. It's not that hard. Writing a resume is not that hard, right? I'm showing you how to do it. Don't go pay $300 to write no resume. Take the $300 and let somebody help you to teach you how to do it, or to up-level your career, or to help you to grow in your career. A resume, you should not be paying money to write your resume. You should be paying money to learn to write your resume. And one of the reasons why I don't advocate paying money to write your resume is because after you write your resume, okay, so we have the nice prospecting resume now, right? Maybe I should talk about that at the end. Let me just go down. So all the jobs are going to look like this: client 1, client 2, right? Then let me go down, technical summary. And Yvonne, why do you put technical summary? Well, especially nowadays, guys, it's very important. Everything is going technical. If you don't have any technical skills, maybe you won't get any job. Learn to get some technical tools. If you don't have them, if you can use Microsoft Suite and Excel and PowerPoint and any kind of proprietary software that you use in your company. Another thing that I was to tell you is that when you're writing here in the jobs, when you say you did, for example, you did work breakdown structure as a project coordinator, right? You just don't say created some work breakdown structure and that's done. No, that's not it. You created the work breakdown structure using MS Project. So when the ATS gets your resume, you had MS Project here, you had MS Project there, and you have MS Project in the, let me get it, the technical summary down here, and you have MS Project in your profile summary. So your resume is going to score high when the recruiter goes into the ATS, because your resume don't pass through nothing. I see all that foolishness on LinkedIn. Your resume don't pass nowhere. You get your resume, you apply for the job, your resume sits down in the database, right? And a recruiter goes and do a Boolean search with keywords and Boolean parameters and pull the resume out. If your resume don't have those keywords that matches the job, your resume might not be selected. But your resume is still there. Maybe there's another job that's coming up another time and you're probably a good fit for that job. But your resume sits nicely in the ATS. Right? I see a lot of things on LinkedIn, people talking, they've never used an ATS. I've used it for 15 years. And your resume don't go anywhere. It's sitting right there. Okay, you apply for a job through LinkedIn at Mindware or any of those places, they have your resume in their ATS. They're going to use a Boolean search to pull it out. And how does your resume become ATS friendly? Let me tell you now, okay? When you are writing up here, you said something about MS Project. You said something about if you were a project coordinator. You said something about Java if you were a Java developer. You said something about JavaScript framework. You said something about all the critical skills that you know that you're looking for in your profile summary. When you were looking at the different the task performed, you said how you developed the application using JavaScript framework and that to build an application that was customer friendly, yada, yada, yada. So this is how your resume become ATS friendly, because you use the keywords in the job description. So when you don't have a job description, you go to LinkedIn, go to Indeed, go everywhere. You look at jobs that is similar to what you do, and you make your resume robust. And then you have that same resume because you have the nice prospecting resume. Okay, wonderful. You're sending it out. Okay. But then on LinkedIn, you saw a nice job. Wow. Now I can go take the job description, and you will take the job description, set it aside, and look at what they're asking for. You match it with every job in your, every position, and say, oh yeah, I've done that. Oh yeah, I've done that. I highlight it, I put it there. Oh yes, I have done that. I highlight it, I put it there. And by the end of the day, you have a job description friendly resume. So don't worry about the ATS. Worry about the position friendly resume and the job description friendly resume. And as you can see, my resume looks like I need Command B. And as you can see, my resume don't have no boxes. Look how it's nice and clean and uncluttered. We do not care about your fanciness, because when we get your job guide, when we get a resume, we go straight here. We go to your crowning glory, and we go to the task you performed and the accomplishments, and we search your resume and we find that you had used MS Project for 10 years and you are a guru, and we like that, right? And no recruiter wants to reject you. The recruiter wants to fill their requirement, right? There's no sentiment there. Nobody rejecting anybody. Okay, so down here with the technical summary, I've been talking a lot, so I'm going to switch soon. In the technical summary section, the reason why you can put that at the back is because you're going to repeat again, okay? If you're applying for technical and information technology jobs, you list the methodologies, the frameworks, the language, Java Day 2 EE, .NET Core, right? Agile TOGAF. If you were administrative, you list MS Project, Microsoft Office Suite, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and so on. So then the next part, education and certification. And the other parts of your resume can be pretty, I can stop sharing now and talk to you. So the other parts of your resume, resume can be different, right? For example, if you're a PhD person, right? If you were a PhD person, you might have publications. But I don't need publication. My daughter is a doctor, it's PhD. She put publications. I don't have no publication. So the rest of your resume can vary, right? The rest of resume can vary. And I see a couple of my friends, okay. Robert, my gray hair ages me, okay. Michael, age discrimination is real. Okay. All right. So I'm going to answer Marcia now. As Marcia, you know, I'm running solo, right? Okay. So I'm going to answer you soon. Okay. Let me tell you about age discrimination, guys. If you are energetic, look at me. How old do you think I am? Okay. I could go out there now, and especially when I was at the office, I used to compete with all the young people, 25 years old. I compete with you guys. My daughter is a little bit more than 25. So I compete. I'm energetic. I will do any job that I go to do. I'll get any job, compete with anybody right now and get a job. The reason is because I make sure I know the work and I am energetic, because no matter how young or how old you are, nobody's going to hire you if you are not energetic. I'm telling you, Michael is 21. Robert, I love it. Okay. How far can you go back if you were an award-winning accountant in the 90s when you decide to become a jazz guitarist for 10 years, then you decide to work the working world? How does that work? Okay. All right. If you want to go back to do accounting now, it's not impossible. You have the skill. What you might have to do, you might have to go do some refresher. If I were you, I would go take some courses now, and I would go back. I would put it on my resume. I would put the significant work I did. Although this is probably 20 years ago when I came to Canada, but when I came to Canada, I told you I was a treasury accountant in the Cayman Islands Treasury. But between that time and then, it was 15 years. I think not in 2000, not when I came to Canada, about 2002, about 6 years after. And I was looking for a job. And as I tell you, my resume was so varied. I did not know where to go, guys. And I started looking for jobs. And one of the jobs I was looking for was an accounting analyst. And I did get a job at PWGSC. And I got a job on a 13-year-old experience. Okay. Yes, thanks, Marcia. Okay. So, yeah, all right. Okay, so what I'm just going to tell you, I did get a job on a 13-year-old. I hadn't done accounting for 13 years, and I did get a job. I just didn't take that job because I had 3 jobs. So that's the thing, that when you're looking for a job, sometimes when you're looking for a job, guys, you will get 3, 4 jobs at the same time. So don't give up. If you are here and you're looking for a job, do not give up. Right? Do not give up. Okay? Because, thank you, Marcia. Do not give up if you're looking for a job, because you just need to focus on what you're looking for. You just need to focus on what you are looking for. Okay? So, all I have to say is that when you're writing your resume, guys, did you get any nuggets? Did you hear anything different today from what you knew before? about the resume, how to write the resume and all that. Let me know. Did you get anything different? Marcy has some guitar skills. Awesome. Okay. Did you hear anything different from what you have heard before? Well, I think Robert said that he did not you had to write the resume in the third person. Yeah, write the resume in the third person. And to tell you the truth, guys, remember I said I have surprise there that it is not, if you send your resume over to somebody and you have the skills and your experience, they're not going to reject you. I'm telling you, don't let people on LinkedIn and on YouTube scare you to say that you're not getting a job because your resume is not like this and is not like that and is not like that. It's not true. And don't let them scare you off and say it has to be one page, because when I was trying to write my resume, once, I did not know what to do because people were confused me. I was hearing one page, I was hearing 2 page. Put your resume on enough pages. And one thing, know where you're sending your resume. If you know that these guys only want 2 pages because you understand from good source, don't send 10 pages, okay? But put your resume, write enough things on the resume that you need to tell your resume story, to tell your career story. Stop thinking, if you're in Canada, you don't even have to worry. You can put 5 pages. 5 pages is acceptable, guys. If you send me your resume and it's 5 pages and you're the right fit, you think I'm going to reject you and pick up somebody else who is not the right fit? Okay. So if you have if you have non-disclosures, I've seen that before. I tell you, I've seen everything. Okay, so Michael wants to know, and maybe I should just share Michael's comment because it's not everybody would see it. What does one do when one cannot put in writing certain responsibilities due to secret or professional non-disclosures? What some of my consultants used to do, because as I tell you, I used to deal with very high level consultants. Those people who make the $1,200 a day and the $1,000 a day, right? They're not cheap people, and they work with like CSIS and all that, because this is top security, top secret. They would sometimes they just put something generic you can just put the generic work that you've done. You don't have to go into detail and describe the work. And if you're a client, if you can list the client's name there, what you can do is put not top secret. If it's a top secret client or something like that, you put a name and just say what you've done, because you have not worked with that person for all your life, right? So you have other jobs on your resume that can also demonstrate what you have done, but you should definitely put the information on your resume so it can be seen. Okay, but you don't have to go into any detail. Don't disclose the things that you don't need to disclose. And Marcia said cover letter not needed. Marcia, you don't need a cover letter unless the company asks for the cover letter, right? If you're in the US, just remember, just check it out to see whether these people are very fussy over the number of pages. But I think if you're in the US, you can probably use 2 pages. You don't have to stick to one. That's what I'm understanding. People are coming around. A lot of the people who put stuff on YouTube, they go and Google it, right? I'm not Googling a thing right now. I'm just telling you from what I've known for 15 years, not Googling a darn thing. I am telling you what we've done. And I've placed a lot of people on LinkedIn who are my followers on LinkedIn. I've worked with over the years, and they're very, very senior, right? So that's good to know that you don't need a cover letter unless they ask you for it. If you can put the information in your crowning glory, put it in your crowning glory, because for 15 years, I have never read a cover letter, right? I do have a cover page master. Okay, so that's nice. What you can do is make sure that you can do that. You can, but if you're sending something, to tell the truth, I don't know why you would want to attach 2 pages, especially if you're putting it through the ATS, guys. If you're putting it through an applicant tracking system, There's really no need to have two. So it will be nice for you if you nice for you to at least put that information in the cover letter. Now, I have a YouTube channel and it talks about cover letter, and it said on YouTube, is the cover letter dead? And I dealt with that. I went through the entire thing about cover letters and at the different times when you can use cover letters. If you have to explain certain things that are specific and you want to add a cover letter, I'm not saying you shouldn't, you should do that, right? So that's great. Marcia has a cover page master. Dion is updating her resume and all that. Great. I'm glad that you guys are updating your resume right now. And at the end of this, before the end, I'm going to send you over. I'm going to give you something right now. So I'm going to share my screen and tell you where you can go and get a nugget. I don't have it right here now, but I have it right here. Okay, so here's where you're going to get the nugget. Here is where you're going to get the nugget. Okay, I'm screening through. This is my presentation that I did not read. So the nugget, where are you going to get the nugget? I have a website, and in the website there you have a nugget that is called the resume framework. It's a resume framework, and it has information in there about ATS. It has information in there about the do's and don'ts of a resume. That will help you guys to know what the do's and don'ts of a resume is, right? And I also have on my on my YouTube channel, there is a video about, similar to this, how to get jobs. There's one about how to get jobs using LinkedIn. And last week I went in and talked about the LinkedIn profile. And another thing, guys, you are looking for a job. And I know some of you here are looking for a job. I just want to let you know, it's not the resume alone. The resume will get you noticed. Okay. But if somebody is going on LinkedIn to look for people, you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Today's not about LinkedIn, but I always like to say it. Okay. You need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. You are going to get a nice headshot, right? And I have a video on that, or how to do that. Make sure you don't have a cluttered background and fussy background. Your banner behind you can be nice. The picture shouldn't have your pets or your wife. I know you love your wife and you love your husband, but you don't have to have them in your LinkedIn profile picture, right? You can have it in the Facebook, okay? And so that when somebody goes on LinkedIn to look for you, you have an optimized profile. So I would write my resume first, then I would take much of the information and then go to LinkedIn and optimize my profile. So we talk about the resume goal, guys. We talk about you should know where you're sending your resume. It should have some focus. It should know the role you're looking for, the 3 types of resume, and we choose chronological because we are not executive right now. If you're an executive, you can choose if you're executive, you can choose the functional, right? And then we talk about all those 3, the combination. Don't worry about combination. Even if you're leaving high school, you can still do a chronological resume. We talk about the sections: contact information, career summary, selected professional experience, work history. Leave that for your master database, right? Professional skills summary, right? So when you put all the different jobs, your education. If you have professional development, you put that. Put publications. If you're a doctor like my daughter, right? If you volunteer like me, I would have a volunteering section. If a section for language, especially if you're in Canada and you're bilingual, you want to say bilingual English and French, right? So you want to do that. So we make sure we have that professional structure, guys, right? We talk about that. Okay. So the resume framework walkthrough, we did that. Okay. And for those people who have, if you really need some more help, You can even book a call with me. The information is on my website, right? And we can talk about that to give you some extra help. If you are already working and you want to move up in your career, remember, I went from a technical recruiter, right, to strategic recruitment executive, and I went to senior director of recruiting, sales, and proposal at Mindwire, right? So I know how to move up in a career. I know how difficult it is to find a job because I've had been there. Took me 8 months to find a job one time, right? Um, and so on. And it took me 8 months. So I know what you guys go through, right? I had a varied background, like many of you guys here. You know, I have a multiplicity of skills. So on my resume, I had to repurpose that, right? Okay. And I have been through it. I have been through every scenario that each one of you go through. Okay. So I know what to tell you how to do. I know how to tell you if you want a promotion. I know how to tell you to do it. If you want negotiate on your job, I know how to tell. I've done that 2 times. They created 2 positions for me at my company that they never had. There is a way, right? That is why I am more into career advancement, right? I'm in career advancement. So, guys, I love that I had all of you to chat today, and I'm really happy that you were here. So let me know, guys. Put a comment below there and let me know how things went. If you got any nuggets from this, and yeah, before we leave this live stream, and we'll see you in my next live. Next live. Let me know what you want to talk about next week. Let me know what you want to talk about next week, guys. I'm at your beck and call. So let me know what you want to talk about next week. All right. Any comments there? What do you want to talk about next week? Let's scroll down in some of these. All right. Let me know what you want to talk about next week. Or if you don't tell me, I'm going to choose something. And I will see you next week in my live show, guys. Okay. So see you next week in my live show. Thank you, Michael. Michael said very good training, and I'll definitely be back in future. And I'd like to know if you want me to cover anything specific. If you didn't tell me here, tell me on LinkedIn. Networking. Okay, William. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Dion. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very informative. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Marcia. Marcia, if you want to find out anything else, let me know what you want me to cover in a future one. And if your friends or relatives have any issues and want me to cover something, I'll cover it. Thanks, Kamel. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Thank you. And as I said, if you want me to cover anything, and you can hop over to my website, goalinspiredcareercoaching.com. If you did not, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you can't find my website, it's very, very new. I don't know if Google is sending it out yet. They should be. I haven't even really advertised it yet. But if Zoom. Marcia want to talk about Zoom. Okay, Marcia, we'll talk about that because I even have a video on how to do a remote interview, you know, how to stand out on a remote interview. So we can talk about that. Nice. Okay, I'll make sure I remember those. Kamel, is there anything that Kamel wants to know? Renee says lots of nuggets. I drop lots of nuggets. Thank you, Renee. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome, guys. That was so awesome, guys. And I will see you next week. Thank you, Yamini. Thank you, Kamel. Okay, guys, so come back next week and invite your friends. Thanks, Michael. Thank you.